Good morning. It's another good day. In fact, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Prayerfully, you're being safe and staying warm. Thank you for allowing me to come into your spaces on a virtual level. We're excited about what God has to say to us on the day. He's opening doors. He's making ways. Service is already in progress. Let's get ready to go up together.
First Corinthians chapter 16. First Corinthians chapter 16. When you arrive there, I would to God that you would acknowledge it by saying amen. If your app won't open or you're still looking, just say wait a minute. Our rendering will come from the King James Version, beginning at 7th verse. I tell people as frequent as I can, it's not how fast you find it, it's how quick you live it. So don't be discouraged because it's taking you a minute to get to it. Verse 7 reads as thus: For I will not see you now by the way, but I trust to tarry a while with you, if the Lord permit. But I will tarry at Ephesus until Pentecost. For a great door and effectual is open unto me, and there are many adversaries. Now, if Timotheus come, see that he may be with you without fear, for he worketh the work of the Lord, as I also do. Let no man therefore despise him, but conduct him forth in peace, that he may come unto me, for I look for him with the brethren. As touching our brother Apollos, I greatly desired him to come unto you with the brethren, but his will was not at all to come at this time, but he will come when he shall have a convenient time. May the Lord add a blessing to the reader, the hearer, and certainly the doer of his most holy, righteous, and divine word. With God help in your prayers are opening in your life. Doors are opening in your life. And welcome to those of you who are viewing from your virtual space. I don't want to get in a hurry today, because I believe that somebody needs to be assured that doors are opening in your life. Now, I say that because many of you missed your chance to shout. You missed your chance to shout because doors are opening aren't anything new to you. You've had doors opened in your life. People you knew gave a good reference, and doors opened for you. People you knew gave a strong recommendation, and doors opened for you. The strength of your resume, the body of work over your career, caused doors to open in your life. Um, but I need to tell us that God was still in the mix in order for those doors to open. But while God was still in the mix, the doorknobs had man's DNA all over it. But when I say doors are openings, biblically speaking, a door is a symbol of opportunity. A door is an advancement. I'm saying to somebody that a door is opening in your life. The reason I say that is because you have been diligent. You've been dedicated. You've kept your head down. You've been grinding. You've been putting in the work, taking care of business. And my assignment is to let you know that a door is opening in your life. Now, this door that God is opening in your life is more than you imagine. It's more than you would have ever fathomed for yourself, because when God opens the door, it's not just a promotion, it's a pathway. Don't take my word for it. I know sometimes it can be hard to grasp. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to sink in. But you need to know that you're in good company. The Bible declares that Moses was grinding on the backside of the mountain. And while he was back there, God showed up and opened the door and put him on a pathway to greatness. Gideon was threshing wheat in the wine press. He was hiding out. He was trying to be inconspicuous when God opened the door and placed him on a pathway to greatness. Somebody still not with me yet. Ruth was a Moabite living in a foreign land. When God opened the door and put her on a pathway to righteousness, Rahab was the madam of a brothel when God opened the door and put her on a pathway to greatness. Now, none of these people fit the profile. None of these people had the pedigree. But when God opens a door, it's not just a promotion, it's a pathway to greatness. Listen, I need to forewarn those of you who are about to walk through the door. The door that God is opening comes with opposition. You're going to have to face some challenges. You'll have some confrontations. The enemy is going to pull out all stops. He's going to unleash his arsenal. Your mental will be tested when God opens the door. But my word to you is stay the course, because God is opening a door in your life, and the door that he's opening is putting you on a pathway to greatness. Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to understand that no matter what you face, you're bigger than what it is. You're bigger than sickness. You're bigger than cancer. You're bigger than lupus. You're bigger than that obstacle. You're bigger than your past mistakes. You're bigger than what you've done in the past. I don't know who needs to hear this, but greatness is all over your life. Listen, I'm not speaking average. I'm speaking greatness. You should have been shouting. I don't speak marginal. I speak greatness. When I kneel before God and I lift up our son-in-law, our daughter, and our grandchildren, I speak greatness over their lives. Greatness isn't just over your life, but greatness is over your children's lives. When I lift up my family, I don't speak inferiority. I speak greatness. I don't concern myself with the color of their skin. I speak greatness over their life. That's a word for somebody here. I don't care if you come from the hood or from the good. When God opens a door, greatness is placed upon your life. The devil is a liar. The greatness can come from your family. Greatness can come from your lineage. Greatness can come from your life. It doesn't matter what side of the track you grew up on. If God opened the door, he can put you on a pathway. I hope you're not in a hurry. I told you I had a long-winded spirit. That's my introduction. When you interrogate the text, this open door wasn't just putting Paul on a pathway to greatness. This open door was providing Paul with the possibility of growth. Verse 9, Paul says, there's a great and effective door open unto me. Let me say it again. There's a great and effective door opened unto me. Third time's a charm. There's a great and effective door opened unto me. Let me just put it in your lap. Paul is cognizant of the fact that he has co-laborers in the ministry. Verse 10, first he says, Timotheus is with me in verse 10. Verse 12, he says, Apollos is a co-laborer as well. But when you read the text, Paul doesn't say that this open door is for them. He doesn't say that the open door is for us. He says a door has been opened for me. Paul realizes that this opportunity has the possibility for his personal growth. God is positioning him so that he can grow. A lot of times we want people to tag along with us, but sometimes God is in positioning you so that he can grow you, not everybody that's around you. He says a door has been opened for me. God is positioning him so he could grow. Let me labor right here. God is concerned about our growth. We seek material gain, but God wants spiritual growth. God is concerned about our growth. Don't take my word for it. John chapter 15, Jesus says, I am the true vine. My Father is the vine dresser. Every branch that abides in me will bear fruit. But those branches that don't bear fruit, he takes away. But if you abide in me, God will prune you so that you can bring forth much fruit. God is concerned about our growth. God desires for us to go to another level. Listen, we're not in church just to jump and shout. We come to grow. We shouldn't just come to worship and get our praise on. We ought to come to church because we desire to grow. It's my contention. If you're part of the church and you're not growing, then you ought to stop going. Because the goal of God is to get us to grow. He wants us to go to the next level. I'm in Bible country and I feel pretty good. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Paul tells the church, I fed you with milk and not meat because you weren't able to bear it. He said, but God desires for you to grow. Paul says, I have a desire to see you. He said, but I'm staying in Ephesus. Staying in Ephesus was going to give Paul an opportunity to grow personally. When you read Paul's letter, you'll discover that there were areas where Paul needed to grow. Philippians 3:12, Paul says, not that I have attained, neither am I perfect. He said, but I follow after that which has apprehended me. In simple translation, Paul confesses, I'm not perfect. In simple translation, he says, I don't have all my spiritual T's crossed. I don't have all my spiritual I's dotted. Paul spoke multiple languages. Help me right here. Paul sat at the feet of Gamaliel, the one who was the master in Jewish oral law. Paul wrote 13 of the 27 New Testament books. Paul was circumcised on the 8th day. Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. Paul was a Hebrew of Hebrews. Paul was a Pharisee concerning the law. But he says, what was gained to me, I counted a loss for Christ. Then he says, I count it all dung. Paul says, I don't have everything together. Romans chapter 7, Paul says that he still has some growing to do. Help me here. He said, that which I know to do, I can't figure out how to get it done. He said, that which I know I shouldn't be doing is what I find myself getting caught up in. He said, it's not me, but it's the sin that dwells within me. He says, I still have to grow. He said, I don't have everything together. God, slow me down and let me park here. Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but as quiet as it's kept, you don't have it all together. There's still room for you to grow. I know you see the areas where everybody else is lacking, but I'm saying you have room to grow. Woe is the person who has convinced themselves that they've already arrived, that they are perfect and they have it all together. Look this way right quick and let me bust your bubble. Listen, I don't care about how devout you are right now. You still have room. Yes, you do. Don't take my word for it. You might think you're righteous, but Isaiah has another opinion. Isaiah 64:6 says, in all your righteousness, you are as a filthy rag. That's why I'm patient with people. That's why I'm compassionate when they fall, when they mess up and make mistakes. Because I understand that we don't have it all together. That's a word for somebody. Be careful how you criticize people who fall. Be careful how you drop the hammer on people who make mistakes. Watch how you put your mouth on people who fell along the way. My Bible tells me, if a brother be overtaken in a fault, you with your spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also. You're not mistake-free. You're not perfect. All of us have some room to grow. Paul has an impressive resume. Paul confesses, I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. Here's the naked truth. We all need Jesus. Because if you catch people at the wrong time, you might catch them in the right moment. I don't care about how holy they are right now. If you catch them at the wrong time, they will detonate and they'll hurt your little itty bitty feelings because they don't have it all together. Paul says, I'm staying in Ephesus, but not only because Ephesus will help me grow personally. He said, but I'm staying in Ephesus because Ephesus will help me grow purposefully. Watch this. He says, you have to know your purpose. I mean, you have to figure out why you still here. I mean, why did God spare your life? Why didn't the devil take you out when he had the opportunity, man? I mean, why didn't pneumonia kill you? It killed other folk. I mean, why did you walk away from the accident? How did you survive the surgery? Why didn't the overdose take you out? Why did God allow you to escape that abusive, toxic relationship? Why did the bullet or the knife miss all of your vital organs? Why did cancer go into total remission? Why is it that you aren't suffering from a liver disease with all of the liquor you've drank? Why don't you have some kind of venereal disease with the body count that you have? I'll tell you why, because you have purpose. I want to contend that part of our purpose mirrors the purpose of the Apostle Paul. Our purpose is to tell a dying world that Jesus Christ yet lives. Paul's purpose was to testify that you serve a God who saves from the guttermost to the uttermost. Part of our purpose is to tell a dying world that Jesus yet lives. Part of our purpose is to tell this world that we can't cave to your culture. Paul says, I'm staying in Ephesus because Ephesus is fertile ground. I'm staying in Ephesus because Ephesus is a lot like Galveston County. There's a lot of sin in Ephesus. Paul says, I'm staying in Ephesus because the culture has shifted away from God. Paul's purpose was to counter the culture. Listen, y'all might as well buckle in. Your Texans went home yesterday, and I'm going to take my time. Yes, sir. Our duty as Christians is to counter the culture. We aren't to condone. We aren't to be complicit. We have been commissioned to counter the culture. Hold me up, God, and let me preach right here. Our culture is drifting further and further away from God. Let me kind of bring it close. Couple of years ago, an invitation was extended to me to go deep sea fishing. I was hesitant and reluctant, not because I have a fear or a phobia when it comes to water. I love cruising. But the reason why I was hesitant and reluctant is because one of the top 5 whoopings that I ever received in my life came from a fishing trip. My younger brothers and I had finally convinced my daddy to take us fishing. We caught fish on the back road, foot tub full, but we started playing. And we tripped over the foot tub. And half of the fish went back where we got them from. I don't have to go into the rest of the story. But in that moment, I made up my mind. I'm done with fishing. I'm not a fisherman. I'm satisfied being a fisher of men. So I decided to accept the invitation. The day that we went out, the weather was rough. The seas were high. True story, the boat stalled up more than one time. When we finally get to a spot that was sufficient enough for us to fish, the captain comes over the intercom, and he says, man your stations. He says, we're not going to drop anchor. He says, we're going to drift while we fish. We go out, the little horn goes off, my line goes straight down. I'm looking at it. But when I look again, it was out in front of me because we were drifting. But the shift was so subtle that I didn't even know that my line wasn't in front of me no more. Somebody's still missing it. I used to be on the slow bus. Our culture has drifted away from God. We see it in commercials. We see it in sitcoms. We see it in movies. We see it in legislative laws. When children can make up their mind that they don't want to be who God chose them to be, and then we turn around and condone and cave to the culture, we have drifted. I know you didn't come for that. But in times like these, we need a Savior. In times like these, we need an anchor. In times like these, we need to be very sure that the anchor holds, that it grips. You are the light of the world. We haven't been charged to change the church. The church has been charged to change the world. I knew some amens would trail off right there. But Paul says, I'm staying in Ephesus because I know what my purpose is. Listen, I'm not a performer. I don't come to put on no show. I know what my purpose is. And I will preach on a corner before I change the church. I refuse to cave to the culture of this world. The church shouldn't mimic the world. I'm not going to mount this sacred space in no slash cut up jeans. I'm not going to mount this sacred space in no athletic suit. I'm not going to mount this sacred space in Versace. Adversities are issues. Adversaries are individuals. Adversities are problems, but adversaries are people. Paul says, I have adversaries. There are people trying to undermine the ministry. There are people plotting for my demise. They're spreading rumors. They're telling lies. These adversaries are doing all manner of evil against me because God has given me a platform for glory. Oh, my God. The glory, Paul says, isn't that I don't have adversaries. He said the glory is that even with them, I'm still affected. The glory is I'm able to produce even though they're still plotting. See, everything about the life of Paul after he had been converted to Christianity was to bring God glory. I knew it was going to be a hard pull right here. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31, the Bible declares, Paul tells the church at Corinth, he says, whatever you eat or you drink, whatever you do, do it to the glory of God. Paul is saying that you shouldn't go if where you're going is not going to give God glory. He said you shouldn't take the promotion if the promotion is not going to give God glory. He says you should move if the move is not going to give God glory. I'm staying in Ephesus. I know that the haters are there. I know they're plotting and planning. I know that they'll kick against the prick. I hear music. He said, I know that they despise the very ground that I walk on. He said, but every time I show up to teach and to preach, God is going to get glory out of me. Yes, sir. Listen, I interrogated the text. I tried to investigate as much as I could. I searched for Paul's formula to success. I gave up and I sent Paul a spiritual email. I said, Paul, how were you able to do it? Paul, what was your formula? How can you be excited about an assignment that has many adversaries? Paul says, in spite of my adversaries, I have an advocate. And my advocate with me is greater than the adversaries that are standing against me. My advocate walks with me. My advocate talks with me. My advocate tells me that I am his own. My advocate told me, no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. My advocate told me that every tongue that rises against you shall be condemned and fail. My advocate told me that when the enemy rush in like a flood, God will raise up a standard. My advocate told me 1,000 shall fall on one side, but 10,000 shall fall on the right side. My advocate told me I'm going to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemy. I'm going to anoint your head with oil. My advocate told me your cup is going to run over. My advocate told me that I've given angels charge to keep watch over you. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all of the days of your life. I've given you a platform for glory. Lift your hands, square your shoulders, open your mouth and testify is a way maker, that God is a provider. That's a word for somebody. God has put you in an open door. It's a pathway for your greatness. It's possibility for you to grow, but it's a platform to bring God glory. And when God opens a door, the devil's in hell can't shut the door. Don't take my word. The Bible declares that Adam and Eve, they broke the lease agreement in the garden. God gave them an eviction notice, and the Bible declares he shut the door. The door was closed for 4,000 years, but 2,000 years ago, God sent his son to open up a door to reconciliation, a door to redemption, a door to resurrection. You know the story. They marched him out to a hill called Calvary. He hung, he bled, but he gave us access to an open door. They brought him down. They buried him in a borrowed tomb, stayed in the grave all day and night Friday, staying in the grave all day and night Saturday, but early.
You know, the mountaintop experience. Man, I'm excited about the word that God has shared with us. He's a way maker. He's a door opener. God has consistently been faithful in our lives. I'm excited about doors that God is opening in your lives, but God has opened doors through technology. He's allowed us to come together virtually. While we're apart, he's allowed us to still have conversation. But technology doesn't just allow us to have conversation. It allows us to make contributions. At the bottom of your screen, there's a secure way to give. I want to thank you in advance for being a blessing to the ministry that God has entrusted to us. It's our prayer that you're being saved. We're looking forward to us coming together and assembling once more. Hey, I missed y'all, man. I'm excited about having an opportunity for us to come together someday soon. Be blessed, stay safe, and remember, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it.